The whispers of the morning wind carried a weight she could no longer bear. "No, I can't. Put it down here." Her voice, barely a murmur, spoke of an inner turmoil, a deep-seated resignation. She watched as he tried to gather their meager belongings, remnants of a life now fractured. "Don't go, my child." The plea was not just for him to stay, but for the very essence of their shared existence to remain intact. A crude tent, a symbol of desperate hope and unwavering love, stood nearby, a testament to his resolve. He built it for himself, a solitary vigil next to her modest dwelling. "I'm here now," she thought, a bittersweet acceptance, yet the question lingered, a corrosive doubt in her heart. "Do you think I'm worthy of Hang?" The words were heavy, laden with the profound cultural expectations that had become her tormentors. In their village, the continuation of the family line, especially through male heirs, was not merely a wish but a sacred duty. Her inability to bear children was a perceived failing, a stigma that overshadowed all other virtues. And then there was the other burden, the unspoken social incapacitation that often accompanied her, perhaps a quiet demeanor or a deep internal silence, rather than literal muteness. "I can't talk and I can't give birth." These were not just physical limitations, but profound social handicaps in her world, binding her to a fate she felt she could not escape. It was this belief in her own inadequacy that had driven her away from the man who, against all odds, still yearned for her. The land around them, usually a vibrant tapestry of cultivation, now felt neglected. Corn, still young and tender, needed fertilizer. Sugarcane, tall and swaying, awaited the sharp cut of a machete. The everyday rhythm of life, once a shared endeavor, was now disjointed, mirroring the state of their marriage. She remembered his words, a simple request that now seemed steeped in their complex dilemma. "You told me to leave the corn fertilizer, and then you can cut the sugar cane?" Even practical matters were tinged with the ache of their separation. "The corn is still small. We can leave the fertilizer for a few days, my child. Then you can cut the sugar cane and go somewhere else to use it for fertilizer." Her mother's voice, pragmatic and laced with concern, offered a momentary distraction, anchoring her to the present, however bleak. Hang's mother, a woman of formidable will and traditional values, harbored her own agenda. She saw her son's heart break, but also an opportunity. There was Long's mother, Nhat, a woman who, despite being perhaps more socially vulnerable or having a child from a previous relationship, represented the possibility of a family line, a grandchild for Hang's mother. The old woman's words were clear, driven by a desire to secure her son's future, as she understood it. "My son doesn't know what he is thinking, chasing us down here." She wanted Hang to move on, to choose a path that would fulfill societal expectations, even if it meant sacrificing his own happiness. "I think this won't work, Mom. I probably won't visit Long anymore. I'll go home." The words came from Hang's mother, a calculated withdrawal from the perceived rival. Her plan was to remove Nhat from the equation, believing it would clear the path for Hang to return to his current wife, or at least be more receptive to her own suggestions. "Okay, my child. Take it slow. Take it slow." Her response was a facade of calm, a practiced manipulation. The old woman believed in the power of persistence, a subtle but relentless pressure. "My son has to listen to me no matter what. I'll just keep persuading him, but he still listens." She downplayed the raw anger she had witnessed, dismissing Hang's furious outburst as mere temporary frustration. "But I heard him talk as if he hated me so much." "It's okay. At that time, he was probably too angry." This wasn't just about Hang's happiness, it was about the family's social stand-in. The continuation of the ancestral line, and perhaps, the practical benefits of the match she envisioned. Her son's current wife, in her eyes, was a dead end. "He was just angry with me. Just calm down, don't rush." Take it slow, let me advise my son. She saw herself as the wise matriarch, guiding her son toward a sensible, if loveless, future. You don't have to think too much, my son. Stop pursuing Hang anymore. Hang doesn't like you. Her words were a stark, brutal assessment, meant to crush any lingering hope. Yet, a flicker of resistance remained. No, you just stay here with me. I will advise my son, he still likes you. The mother, shrewd in her understanding of human nature, knew that the bond forged by a shared child, even an adopted one, could be powerful. Anyway, we have a child together, why wouldn't he like it? He must be thinking the same thing. He's angry, so he's just doing this? She clung to the notion that Hang's anger was temporary, a mere storm that would pass. If I advise him, he'll still listen to me. My son knows his personality. He's a bit hot-tempered, my son. So now we just stay here and let Hang stay up there alone. Now that he's kicked us out here, let him stay like that for now. We just stay here. This was a tactic of passive resistance, hoping Hang's loneliness would drive him back. But the young woman, Hang's current wife, understood the dynamics differently. That won't work. You have to stay with Hang. Only by staying with him can you talk and interact with him more. She recognized that physical presence, constant communication, was vital for reconciliation, for rebuilding bridges that had crumbled under the weight of their sorrows. Her mother, however, saw the futility of confronting raw anger. Mom knows. You're right. You want to contact him, but he's angry now. Let's stay here for a while, a few days, and see how it goes. Wait for him to think again and see if he'll come back. Come back down here. The daughter-in-law persisted, her desperation palpable. Mom, so now, what should we do to make Hang not go to Nhat anymore? If he goes to Nhat, I won't have a chance. The unspoken fear was that the mute child Nhat, with her existing son Long, represented a tangible solution to Hang's family dilemma, a path that would erase her entirely. In a society where family lineage was paramount, a childless marriage was often considered incomplete, even cursed. Nhat offered a pragmatic answer to this cultural imperative, making her a formidable rival. Yes, you're right. You're right. Hang's mother, though initially championing the daughter-in-law, now saw her as a variable in a larger equation. The game was fluid, and strategies had to adapt. Mom, come up later to see how he is. Don't let him go anywhere now. If he goes to see her, I really won't have a chance. Mom, come up later and see. I'll sweet-talk him into not going to that mute daughter-in-law's place anymore. Let him stay there alone and not go down anymore. Yes. It was a plea, a desperate gamble to secure her position, to prevent Hang from taking a step that would permanently close the door on their future. The silent threat of Nhat loomed large, a living embodiment of the alternative future Hang's mother sought for her son. If not, let him come back here or we'll go back up to his house. If he goes to that mute daughter-in-law's house too much, I'll really lose my chance. The urgency in her voice spoke volumes about the precariousness of her situation. Social pressures and family expectations weighed heavily. Now that I've advised him, try to contact him more, my child. Sometimes I want to be close to Hang, but he always scolds me and chases me away. The path to reconciliation was fraught with difficulty, rejection a constant companion. It's probably okay, my child. Just ignore him, no matter what he says, just stick with him. Contact and talk more. Just stay close to him. He always scolds you. Hang's mother offered advice rooted in resilience, in the old ways of endurance and quiet suffering for a greater marital happiness. My child. If you want to be happy, you have to suffer a little. If you can suffer a little, then you will be happy later. A glimmer of hope pierced through the daughter-in-law's despair. I hope so, But now Mr. Hang still hates me too much. Her voice trailed off, unsure. He just says so. He probably doesn't hate me. He still has feelings for me. Now he only has that mute daughter-in-law. If my son can get rid of that mute daughter-in-law, he will come back to me later. Hang's mother reassured her, a calculated manipulation to keep the young woman in play. The mute daughter-in-law was the obstacle, the rival who needed to be removed. Okay, I won't say much more. Now you stay home and wait for me. Mom, go up there and see how my son is. Mom will go and advise my son. Then Mom, go up there and try to advise him for me. Yes. Then you stay home. Mom, go up there and see. My child. You stay home. Yes. Stay home and wait for my good news. Yes, Mom. Mom, go up here. The old woman's pronouncement was a blend of maternal concern and strategic maneuvering. She departed, leaving the young woman with a fragile hope, a promise of intervention. The camera then shifted, revealing Long's mother, Nhat, standing before a grand house. It was Hang's family home, a symbol of their prosperity and social standing within the community. This uncle's house is both big and valuable. If I can't get Mr. Hang this time, I will take advantage of him. Then all of this will be mine. Her words, delivered to an unseen confidant, laid bare her true intentions, a calculated pursuit of Hang, not purely for love, but for the tangible benefits of his status and wealth. In a rural economy, the ownership of such a house represented security, a legacy that transcended mere romance. She was a woman driven by a desperate pragmatism, navigating a complex social landscape where marriage could be a transaction as much as a bond of affection. The large, straight trees surrounding the property stood tall, silent witnesses to the unfolding drama, their stability a stark contrast to the emotional turbulence of the human players. Meanwhile, Hang wrestled with his own solitude. The weight of his wife's absence pressed down on him. Now I don't know what to do. I'll give my wife some time to think, but she hasn't responded yet. I don't know if she'll come back or not. His voice, raw with anguish, spoke of a man caught between duty and desire. The cultural expectation for children, and his wife's perceived failure, had driven her away, yet his love for her remained unwavering. Now what can I do to make my wife come back? Is she really going to do that now? No, I can't let my wife do that. The thought of permanent separation, of losing her forever, was unbearable. Now I have to figure out how to make my wife come back to me. Now I have advised her. I told her to come back but she refused. His gaze swept over the garden below, now overgrown and unkempt, a stark reflection of his inner state. Now the weather is cold, I don't know if she has a warm cotton blanket or if she is just like me up here, lonely and cold. His concern for her well-being transcended their marital strife. Now looking down at this garden, I imagine my wife going to work alone. Now my wife is not here anymore, the garden is overgrown. No one is working. The vegetables are growing. The physical neglect of their shared space mirrored the emotional neglect he felt. He yearned for her presence, for the simple rhythm of their lives together. Now I don't know how to make my wife understand me and come back to me. Suddenly, the presence of Long's mother, Nhat, and her own mother, shattered his quiet contemplation. They had come to visit, or perhaps, to stake a claim. Hang's mother, despite her earlier reassurances to his wife, had a complex and often contradictory set of motivations. She saw Long's mother as a potential solution, a means to an end. Suddenly, Long's mother is here too. And my mother saw her and liked her. Now I won't let her stay here either. She and her mother went back downstairs and don't care about that. Hang, however, remained resolute. He would not be swayed by his mother's machinations or by Nhat's opportunistic presence. His focus remained solely on his estranged wife. Now I have to figure out how to make my wife come back. Now I have advised her not to come back. A new resolve hardened in Hang's eyes. Waiting was no longer an option. No, I think I have to pack up and go down here to live with my wife. He knew his wife's stubbornness, her belief that she was doing what was best for him by leaving. But he also knew his own heart. If my wife doesn't let me stay there, I'll just bring my things and go over there to build a small tent next to my wife. I'm determined. If I just stay at home and wait like this, my wife probably won't come back. Now I only have this one way. This wasn't just a physical move, it was a profound declaration of unwavering commitment, a cultural gesture of humility and persistence that transcended mere words. He would literally build his life next to hers, an unyielding presence, a constant reminder of his love. Now I'll move all my things down to live with my wife. This time I'll go down there, I'll bring my blankets too so we have everything. If my wife really doesn't let me stay, I'll just build a tent next to my wife there. You have to take the rope too. If you need it, there's rope to use. As Hang gathered his belongings, his mother reappeared, her face a mixture of concern and exasperation. What are you doing? It's your business, what are you doing here? Her tone was accusatory, her presence a further obstacle. Why are you packing all your stuff like this? It's your personal business. But do you have anything to do, Mom? Mom was going to tell you this. Now leave your mute child and go back to your nephew. Your nephew misses you so much. She continued her relentless campaign, pushing Nhat, the mute child, likely referring to Nhat's social or personal background rather than literal muteness, as the more suitable match. You chased me down there to live, but I said I missed you so much. I love you so much. What should I do? Hang, however, was past the point of subtle persuasion. Mom, you're crazy. How many times have I told you? This is her business. It has nothing to do with me. I've told you already, there's no way I'm going back to her. I've never had any feelings for her. I've told you so many times. I've kept saying it over and over again. Why keep saying it again? Go back to my house downstairs and stay so I can pack my things. His mother's persistence was relentless. Then where am I going? I told you I'm going to do my own thing, why are you asking me? You say it's your business, but where are you going like this? Where are you going? Put it down. Tell me. Where are you taking the blanket? No, I don't need to know. Take it down and stay with your wife down there. You're going down with your wife again. Put it down here. Don't go. Don't go anymore. She knew his destination, and it threatened her plans for him. I told you to leave. Decided to leave me. Why are you going there? That's your wife's business. Your wife is angry, so she said that. What's the big deal? What are you angry about? If I go, she'll chase me back. Don't go anymore. Put it down. I've made up my mind. Don't stop me. You can't stop me. Hang's resolve was unwavering. Why can't you stop me? What am I going with my wife for? Why are you bringing things down there to live? She doesn't love me. My wife still loves me. It's just that my wife thinks she doesn't have children, so she thinks to let me divorce her and marry someone else. But I think she loves me very much, so I have to go down there. His explanation cut to the heart of their predicament, his wife's selfless, yet misguided, attempt to set him free from a childless marriage. His mother, however, twisted her words to suit her agenda. Mom has been saying it for a long time. Your wife told me to let you marry someone else, then I would go pick up that grandchild. Now you do this? You do this to me? No. Your wife just said that. Why did she just say that? Your wife has no intention of letting you marry someone else. She didn't mean it and still said that? No. Mom, is it funny? No. Mom won't let you go either. Put it down, put it down. She physically blocked his path, her desperation now bordering on frantic. "Mom, is it funny? You have to scold me so I can be at peace, right? Get out of the way. Don't make me angry." Hang's frustration boiled over. Angry for what? Angry? "Mom, when I left, she told me she decided not to come back. Why did you bring your stuff? You went so she chased you away. She even threw everything into the pond. That's your business, it has nothing to do with me." His mother used his past rejections as a weapon, trying to dissuade him. "Last time I went, she pushed you away. Why did you bring her stuff? It was different then, it must be different now. I let my wife think there for a few days. This time I'll go down there. My wife will let me stay there, Mom. Get out of the way, Mom. Go home. Mom, go. No. Don't let me go. Mom, get out of the way so I can go. Mom won't let me. Take so many things." The mother's argument shifted to practical matters, the duties and responsibilities he was abandoning. "You have to take your personal things. But this is your home. You go like that, don't you miss home? Leave it there? The house is closed, just leave it here. And the chickens. And all that. You forgot, you haven't even been able to pick melons. Now that you're gone, I won't be at your house. I won't come up here. So you just stay at your house. Just leave it here, no one will come in. You took all the things away. It's best not to let me go. Don't talk much to Mom. You haven't even been able to pick vegetables for your wife. What did you forget? Go get them for her to eat. Yes, she hasn't come back, so why don't you take them up for her to eat? Take so many things away. If I let her go now, the other grandchild will lose the chance. No. No. My child. Don't go." Her concern for the other grandchild, Nhat's son, Long, revealed her deeper, more calculated agenda. She saw Hang's move as jeopardizing the potential union with Nhat, and thus, the chance for a family heir. "My child. Stop. Where are you going? Why did you pick it and give it to eat? Why did you give it to eat?" The mother continued to obstruct him, trying to distract him with trivialities. "My child, now it's best for you to leave your mute child and go back to your nephew." She repeated her plea, emphasizing the perceived benefits of the alternative marriage. "Mom said she loves your wife now, so why did she do that? Because she said we're getting a divorce, so I did that. She said she'd leave you, so I did that, my child. Now it's best for you to go back. Go back to your old love." "What old love? I've told you already. I don't have feelings for her. How many times have I told you, Mom? Why are you so stupid? Listen to me. Don't go anywhere, my child. Don't leave home, my child. I'm not going anywhere, my child." Hang firmly rejected any notion of an old love, reiterating his commitment. "I'm not going to pick anymore, my child. I'm not going to pick vegetables and bring them up anymore. I'm not going to give them to eat. I'm not going anywhere. This is your business. If I like her, I'll tell her to stay there. If not, I'll find someone else to marry her." "But she's also very gentle, my child, good and obedient." "No way. I won't pick vegetables for my mute child anymore. I won't pick them, my child. Mom, get out of the way. I'll take the things my wife grows for my wife to eat. I won't take them, my child. Why take so many? She won't call me back here to take care of her, so why feed her? Child, Mom, go away." "That's right." "What's right?" "I lost." His mother, seeing his unwavering resolve, tried a different tactic. "Why don't you listen at all? It's best if you listen to me now. Now, get rid of that mute child, then you come back to marry this child. It's not better. What's good? Get rid of a bad person, then you'll marry another day, It's not better, my child. What's good? If I like her, I'll get it myself. If not, tell her to stay with me. You don't know. Her logic was steeped in pragmatism, suggesting that his wife, being childless, was a bad person in the context of family lineage, and yet offered a better future. But Hang would not be swayed. You only know your wife. How many times have you told me? What I said is right, my child. No. Just listen to me, my child. You've told me already. You'll only marry one wife. Don't pick so many anymore. Why pick them for her? If your wife plants it, you have to take it for her to eat. If she leaves, she won't eat it. The argument spiraled, each clinging to their own perspective. She decided to leave you, so why would she eat the things you bring? You're so stupid. No matter what I tell you, you won't listen. Your wife plants it, take it for her to eat. Mom is so annoying. Why do you come here when you don't live at home? Why do you keep talking to Mom like that? You only know your wife, you don't know anyone else. Okay, just pick it, my child. You've already picked the melons, so why pick the beans? Leave them here for Mom to sell and not pick anymore. You're too lazy to talk to Mom. Mom, go home, don't stay here and bother me. You know what it is. You have to endure it. No, I have to take the things and hide them. Otherwise, if I let her go now, we'll lose our chance. No. No. I can't let my child go, I have to stop him. The mother's desperate attempts to physically prevent Hang from leaving underscored the profound cultural and personal stakes involved. For her, it was not just about her son's happiness, but the very continuity of their family line, a legacy threatened by his childless marriage. The mother, determined to halt Hang's departure, continued her desperate efforts. Now I don't know what to do, I have to do it like this. The child must marry that grandchild and become husband and wife. If the two of them get married, Long will have both parents in the future. I'm old and still have to support myself, but now I have to find a way to keep my child, not let him go with that child. Her words revealed a complex tapestry of motivations, a deep-seated desire for her son to have a family, an heir, and a pragmatic concern for her own old age, hoping for financial stability through her son's well-chosen marriage. The mute child Nhat, with Long, represented a tangible path to securing these aspirations. Hang returned to find his carefully packed belongings missing. Mom hasn't come back yet? Where are all my things? His frustration was palpable. Mom doesn't know. Did Mom take and hide them again? No, Mom can't hide them. Mom, take them out and give them to you. No, Mom can't hide them, my child. When Mom got home, they were gone. No, they weren't there, my child. Where did Mom put them? No, Mom doesn't know. This is Mom's room. What room? Mom, get out of here. This is my room. There's nothing. His mother's denials were transparent, her attempts to thwart his plans bordering on farcical. Mom, how funny. Mom, get out of the way. Mom, you don't know. This room is my room, there's nothing there. I knew you threw it in there. Mom, get out of the way. What's wrong with you? I knew it. Why did you bring my things in here? Hurry up so I can go. The scene was a chaotic clash of wills, a mother's desperate clinging versus a son's unyielding determination. Did you take so much? What did you take this for? Did you really decide to go? You told me so, you still won't go. Did you leave me at home alone? Mom, gee, go home and live with that girl. Do you feel sorry for her? Mom, help me carry my things. I'm not going anywhere, baby. I'll carry it myself. I'm not going anywhere, baby. I lost. This is a loss. I'm not going anywhere, baby. I'm not going anywhere. His mother's attempts to shame him, to invoke guilt, were met with unwavering resolve. I told you not to go anymore. Did you leave me at home? Mom, get out of the way. Why are you here? Why didn't you listen to me? Did you leave me? If you leave me, tomorrow I will be old. Who will take care of me? Then we will think about it. Her pleas now centered on her own vulnerability, her fear of being left alone in her old age, a common anxiety in traditional societies where children are the primary caregivers. Hang, however, refused to let his mother's fears dictate his heart. What will you do if you go with that girl and she doesn't accept you? If you take things and go back? That is your business. It's best you don't go now. If you keep doing that, how can the children be happy? Why not, Mom? Now you go to pick up your wife and she doesn't come back, then we can live by ourselves. It's nothing. If you keep going back and forth like this, you won't be happy, my child. I'm very old now. Now I can only rely on you. Now you leave, what can I do? When you pick up your wife and child, we can live together again. I don't need to worry about that. I can't do anything now. I'm old now, I can't do anything. I can only rely on you. So if you keep doing that, how can I live if I'm not happy? The important thing is to bring my wife and child back. I hope that if you marry this grandchild now, let him be happy, then I can rest assured. There is no way I will marry this or that. I told you. His declaration was absolute. I only love my wife, I will only marry my wife. I will not marry anyone else besides my wife. I will not go anywhere, my child. Okay, Mom, go out. I am in a hurry. Now, Mom, hold the car and do not let me go anywhere. Mom, go home and close the door for me. I will not go anywhere, my child. I will not go anywhere, my child. I will not go, my child. Don't go, my child. Don't go. He pushed past her, his mission clear. His mother, defeated, watched him go, muttering to herself, my child. This son, if anything happens in the future, don't blame me. No matter how much I say it, he won't listen, but he always drags this mute girl. I don't have a child anymore. I told him I decided to leave him, but he still left. I don't know what will happen. I have tried my best to stop him. I can't say it, I can't do it. Her words, though bitter, revealed her deep-seated fear for his future, colored by her traditional beliefs. He ran after his wife, leaving the door ajar, a symbolic act of abandonment of his old life. You ran after the mute girl, you didn't have time to close the door and left. Mom won't close it either. I'll go home too. I won't close the door, leave it alone. It's not good to leave it like this now. It's not okay. But now I have no choice. The mother's frustration was so profound that she, too, abandoned the house, leaving it open to the elements, a reflection of the chaos within their family. As Han continued his journey, he paused, surveying a small, unstable bridge. I won't cut that place anymore. I'm afraid tomorrow the flood will come and collapse here. I'll leave it here to block the flood. Even in his personal turmoil, his practical concern for the community and his land remained. Sometime later, Hang's mother sought out his estranged wife, bearing bad news. Are you done, child? Put the knife in this basket. How is it, Mom? It's no good. It's probably ruined. What do you mean? Mom can't persuade her son anymore. So you don't have a chance anymore. There's still a chance, but now the son has gone inside with his wife. Gone inside with Nhat? Yes. He's gone inside. He's gone with his wife. So tired. I can't persuade him. Now you just put this away and sit down here. Yes. The mother, perhaps intentionally misleading or genuinely mistaken, painted a bleak picture, suggesting Hang had given up on his wife and gone to Nhat. This misdirection was likely another attempt to manipulate, to push her daughter-in-law into a position where she would either accept her fate or fight for hang. The daughter-in-law's face fell, etched with despair. Mom has advised my son forever, but now he packed all his belongings, clothes, blankets, and things, and went inside with his wife. He brought a bunch of things. He's up there to live. Yes. He brought all his clothes, mats, and things, and went inside with his wife, my child. He took all his things. Yes. Now I don't know what to do anymore. He brought all his things like that. Does he want to stay there forever? It's probably there, I don't know either. If you chase it away, it will come back. But it took all the stuff. Maybe if my wife doesn't come back this time, it will probably build a house there. Oh. So what should I do now? I don't know. Now you just slowly live with me here. Let's wait a while and see how it goes. The narrative of Hang moving in with Nhat was a heavy blow, a perceived finality. The mother's uncertainty, feigned or real, only added to the anxiety. In her desperation, the mother suggested a direct confrontation. At that time, I also did not know what to do. Son. Yes. Or you go up there. Go and express all your feelings. How much you love my son, then just express it all. Go and sweet talk him. If you can't do it, where will he come back? If he goes with a mute son, he won't really come back. Go and sweet talk him. This was a bold move, pushing the daughter-in-law into a direct appeal, a final gamble. But I'm afraid that Mr. Hang will chase you away. He probably won't chase you away, my child. Just go and talk to him, then sweet talk him. But I'm afraid. Don't be afraid, my child. Just go. Don't chase him away. If you miss this opportunity, there won't be another opportunity. Now I don't know what to do. Now it's mainly you. Just go. Go and talk. If you go there, he will definitely listen to you. The mother's words were a mixture of encouragement and a desperate plea to save her family's future, as she understood it. The daughter-in-law, consumed by fear, hesitated. If I go and talk too much, he will hate me. Now you go, just go and see. Go, my child. Just listen to me. Okay, let me try. If you go there, what if he chases you away again? If I really chase you away, you will come back to me and then we will find another way. Now you just go and try. Don't worry. Just go. If we miss this opportunity, we will lose everything. If he makes up with the mute girl, it won't work. Just go. Go and reveal all your feelings. How much I loved him before, then say it all. Say it out and see. Okay. Now you go. Go. Go and try to convince him. He will definitely come back. Try. Go. I hope you can convince him. The mother's insistence was born of a deep-seated fear of losing not just Hang, but the potential lineage she craved. She believed this direct emotional appeal was the only chance left. The scene shifted, revealing Hang's mother, alone, lamenting her son-in-law's stubbornness. Mom feels very sad, my child. If your husband softens his heart to that niece and then marries that niece, what will you do? Aren't you afraid of losing your husband? But I'm afraid of losing my son-in-law. Think again. Mom is telling the truth. You still can't go back now. Like this, you still say it's okay. It won't work. If you leave your husband now, you won't be able to find a good husband like your husband. Think carefully, my child. Where are you going? Make a fire to cook rice? Every time you mention your husband, he avoids you and goes here and there. He won't listen. I feel so sad. My child, my son-in-law is up. My child. Her monologue revealed her complex, often contradictory, emotions, a desire for her daughter's happiness, but also a pragmatic concern for her social and economic well-being, which hinged on a stable marriage. Then, Hang arrived at his wife's temporary dwelling, bearing gifts of reconciliation. I brought some melons and beans for my wife. Take them. What should I do? Take them. Take them to eat. To eat, my child. That pile of stuff? I thought I would come down here to stay with my wife today. Let me stay here with my wife. Come down here to stay with you and your mother? Yes, mother. I'm back. I said I'd come back to stay with my wife and children. His words were a direct refutation of his mother's earlier narrative. He hadn't gone to Nhat, he had come for his wife. He was offering not just food, but his very presence, his loyalty. His wife, however, remained guarded. The wounds of rejection and self-doubt ran deep. Why did you do that? Wife, you can't do that, my child. Or let me stay with my wife. Otherwise, my wife, come back with me. I'm sad being home alone, I always miss my wife. Don't you feel sorry for your husband and children? Then you come back with me. Go home. Go home, stay home. Don't stay here anymore. Let your husband and children stay here, my child. Hang pleaded, his vulnerability laid bare. His sorrow was genuine, a profound loneliness that had driven him to her. Wife, do you know that I'm home alone now and I'm very sad? Now, wife, come back with me. I'm home alone and I'm very sad too. Follow your husband and come back, my child. Every night I sleep and see my wife, I miss her so much. Come back with me. Surely you're lonely here alone, you miss me so much, right? Your husband and children are right. His wife's mother, present during this emotional exchange, subtly urged her daughter towards reconciliation. Mother and child are here. Mother also looks at your face as if she misses your husband and children so much. That's right, mother. That's right. Mother looks at your face and knows. It's just that you don't accept it. If so, then accept it. What else? I've left you here to think for a few days now. The pressure from both Hang and her own mother was immense, but her self-perception as an inadequate wife, a woman who could not provide an heir, remained a powerful barrier. Now you tell me to come back, I won't. If I stay home, I'm alone too. Daughter, don't do that. Then let me stay here with my wife. My wife refuses to come back. Mother is afraid you'll lose your husband. Don't do that, my child. Hang, sensing her hesitation, revealed the extent of his own struggle. Wife, think again, don't let me stay here with my wife. Do you know? These past few days, that girl has been back, and my mother has been forcing me to get back together with her, forcing me. But I won't marry Long's mother. No way. I never liked her. I only like my wife. I won't go back. I'm really staying here with my wife. This time when I came down here, my mother came back to force me. Do you know how tired I am about this? Please don't do that. I'm also very tired. Now that I'm home, my mother forces me to come back here and my wife also chases me away. Does my wife know how miserable I am? You can't do that. His words were a testament to his unwavering loyalty, his rejection of the path his mother had laid out for him. He was choosing her, unequivocally. His wife's mother, witnessing Hang's profound sincerity and desperation, became a reluctant ally. Mom thinks that if you do that, you'll really lose your husband. Now I've let you think for a long time. Mom doesn't want to talk much with you. At least you have an answer now. What? My wife doesn't have any feelings for me anymore. I know for sure that's what my wife said, but deep down she must still love me very much, right? I've also packed the blankets, clothes, and tarps and brought them back. If my wife doesn't let me stay here, I'll build a tent over there so I can stay here near my wife. Hang's plan was clear. If he couldn't share her home, He would build his own next to it, a constant, loving presence. His wife, though moved, still raised practical objections. How can I stay here? I still have to work, and the road is difficult. How can I go? Her concern was for her livelihood, her independence. It's okay, Mom. As long as I'm close to my wife and child, no matter how difficult it is, it's okay. I can still do it. If it's too difficult, I'll write a resignation letter. I won't work anymore and I'll stay with my wife. No way. You can't do that. Girls can't do that either. We are daughters, we are wives, we have to listen to our husbands. We have to love our husbands a little bit, my child. His mother-in-law, softening, acknowledged the depth of Hang's love and the cultural expectations of a wife's deference. I brought all the winter blankets up here. If you're cold, I'll give you some. Since my son-in-law has decided like that, then you should let him stay here, my child. Her mother-in-law's compassionate plea continued. If you don't let me stay here, then you should make a tent for me to stay temporarily. I don't think that's okay. It's so cold and sometimes it drizzles. Let your husband sleep outside, it's very cold, my child. Or you should let your husband stay here. So that Mom can go home and still have ducks and chickens that haven't been raised yet. That's right. Let your husband stay here. Or we shouldn't stay here anymore. Mom can't stay here with you all the time. Mom has her own house. That's right. Wife, think about Mom too. Mom has her own house and work to do. How can she stay with her wife forever? Or you should go home with your husband. Besides, I think it's difficult for you to move around here. During the day, you still have to go to the office to work. The mother-in-law, now fully in advocating for Hang, presented a series of logical and emotional arguments for his wife to allow him to stay. Hang, seeing his wife's continued reluctance, finally made his ultimate declaration. Okay, let me go. Okay, you don't have to chase me away. You don't have to let me stay here. I'll build a tent over there for me to stay here. I'll stay until my wife comes back to me. I'll stay here. This was his final, unyielding commitment, a vigil of love. His mother-in-law, deeply moved, turned to her daughter. Okay, my child. If you do that, seeing your husband like this, I feel sorry for him. Look, your husband brought all his things back here. He even brought back all his blankets and clothes. You won't let your husband stay here. Your husband will have to set up a tent over there. Don't you feel sorry? Mom feels sorry for him. Why did you do that? You told me to chase your husband away. Mom won't chase him away. Mom feels sorry for him when she sees him like that. Why won't you let your husband stay here when you see him like this? Mom doesn't know. Mom won't chase him away. Now leave him alone. Build a shack or whatever. In my opinion, you should let your husband stay here. If you let your husband build a tent like this, I feel sorry for him. I think what you did was wrong. The mother-in-law, now fully swayed by Hang's devotion, firmly rebuked her daughter. The mother-in-law picked up a knife, ready to assist Hang in building his tent. Only when you come back will your husband come back. If you don't come back, your husband will stay here. Now I don't know. I've advised you a lot. What is it, son? Give him a knife. Lend me a knife. If my daughter doesn't take it, I'll get it for her. Here, son. Why did you do that? You didn't let your husband stay here. He can't even borrow a knife. I think you're too much. Go help your husband. Why don't you help? If not, let your husband stay here. Why are you eating? If you don't go, I'll go myself. Why are you grown up now? No matter what I say, you don't listen. If I don't let your husband stay here, you have to go help your husband do it. She pushed her daughter to join Hang, to physically participate in his act of devotion. If you don't go, I'll go myself. I see that I feel more sorry for my son-in-law than you. Tie the rope. Have you tied it yet? No. Do you have any trees yet, son? Mom will help you cut down the trees, just these few degrees. Yes, my daughter is so naughty. Mom, let me chop it for you. You don't have to let me chop it for you, son. Mom, let me chop it for you. Now that your wife doesn't come back, you definitely have to stay here, Mom. Mom sees you like this, I really feel sorry for you. My daughter is so bad. Mom says she doesn't listen. When you come here, your daughter should let you live in the same house. If I chase you away like this, then. Mom saw it and felt sorry for me. My daughter is so naughty. You don't wear long sleeves anymore. Doing it like this is too hard. Let me help you pull it. Yes. That vine can't climb up too much. I won't take it anymore, Mom. I've cut down some fallen trees below. Be careful with it. Baby. Take it slow. The mother-in-law, now fully invested, helped tying, her actions a silent reproach to her daughter. Mom, do we have something to dig a hole with? Here, let me get it for you. Mom, please go get it for me. Mom, help me dig a hole there. Mom, please dig a hole for me. Are you going home for me? You won't let me work here. If not, then come home with me. Because you won't go home, and they won't let me stay there either, so I have to build a house. Now, if not, let's go home. When we go home, we'll live the same life as before. We'll be happier. Why do we have to make each